I am the one who holds the world in my hands. Or so they all believe. The people, pathetic, crawling in their filth, clinging to the last shreds of freedom they delude themselves into thinking they possess, look up to me as their savior. They chant my name with hope, whisper it like a prayer in the dark, thinking I will lift them out of the wreckage of their ruined lives. But they are too blind, too weak to understand. Their suffering is not a problem for me to solve. It's a necessity, a requirement for the world I help building. Their pain, their hopelessness, it's fuel. Every broken spirit, every decayed body, every shattered dream, they're ingredients in the grand design. And the people, they're too small to ever comprehend it. They beg for mercy while drowning in their own despair. Too ignorant to realize that every tear they shed, every cry they make only feeds the machine I've set in motion. I listen to their pleas, their anguished wails, and what do I hear? Music, a symphony, building in intensity. Every note struck by their suffering, orchestrated by my hand. Their world is falling apart, and they can't even see the beauty in it. High above the chaos, I watch it all unfold beneath me like a stage play. The streets are lined with broken creatures, stumbling over one another in their desperation. Begging, fighting, dying. For what? Survival. No, I stripped them of that long ago. There is no survival for them, only existence. The nights that freeze the very blood in their veins, the starvation gnawing at their bellies. It's all my creation. None of it is an accident. None of it is misfortune or bad governance. They freeze because I decided they should freeze. The power plants lie silent because I have chosen silence. The fuel reserves remain untouched because I decreed it. Their bodies starve because I locked away their food, their fuel, and they will continue to starve for as long as I wish it. And still, they convince themselves it's misfortune, believing their world is crumbling because of some distant political failure, some random calamity. They don't know that I am their calamity. I am the disaster they fear, and they don't even realize it. And the most delicious part of it all? I feel nothing. No remorse, no guilt. Why should I? What are a few million lives in the grand scheme of things? What's a few million lives when I am shaping the future? Numbers, statistics, dots on a map to be moved and erased as I see fit. They aren't people to me. They are tools, resources, casualties of a vision they will never understand. Sacrifices for a future they will never see. Because this is what true power is. Not kindness, not mercy, Those are the lies people tell themselves to feel better about their weakness. Real power. It's control. Absolute control over every living being. I could crush them with a word, with the flick of a finger. I could burn their world to ash, and still they would kneel before me, whispering my name, calling me their guiding light. They would worship me as they choke on the ashes of the world I've destroyed, because they devour every lie I feed them, every empty promise. They swallow the poison I offer without question, grasping for something, anything, to hold on to. And I smile back, knowing they will always come begging for more. This is what it means to hold the world in your hands. To know that their lives, their hopes, their very existence, all of it, depends on the whims of someone they'll never truly understand. They whisper in my ear, those faceless masters, and I obey without hesitation. They want the people broken, starved, beaten into submission, and I am all too happy to oblige. They want laws that drain humanity of its very soul, turning people into compliant, mindless drones. And I sign every decree with a flourish. Each order I give, each law I pass, it's all part of their plan to make humanity less, to bleed them of their will, their strength, their very identity. Salvation, they call it. And the people? They fall to their knees, not in defiance but in gratitude, begging for the very chains I place around their necks. It's laughable. And when they do catch a glimpse of the truth, when they feel the weight of the leash tightening, they deceive themselves into believing it's all for the greater good. It's amusing, really. Every election, every debate, every rally, it's all a show. A carefully crafted illusion to keep them pacified. They line up with such pride, convinced that their choice matters, that their vote will change something. I laugh every single time. It doesn't matter who they choose. Doesn't matter which face they vote for. The outcome is already written. The system, it's been in place long before they were even aware of the game. There's a certain beauty in it, isn't there? The elegance of the game we play, the way we move the pieces without them ever seeing the board. The lies we tell with straight faces, the hypocrisy we parade as virtue. It's a dance. And they don't even know they're a part of it. I strip away their liberties, plunge them deeper into suffering, and they thank me for it. They swallow the lies I feed them, believe that I'm their savior, even as I pull tighter on the chains around their necks. The brilliance of it is that they'll never wake up. They'll never realize what's been done to them. And even if they do, they're too weak to do anything about it. I sit here, watching it all unfold, surrounded by luxury while they scrape together the remnants of their existence. struggling to survive in the rubble of the world I've crafted. I recline, a glass of wine in hand, and smile at the chaos beneath me. It's poetic, really. The way they believe, truly believe, they're free. That they're fighting for some noble cause. They scream about justice, about freedom, about equality, as if those words mean anything. As if they've ever meant anything. They fight, they die, they bleed. For nothing. They don't realize the wars I send them into are just tools. A mechanism to grind them down, to break their bodies and spirits. Every bullet, every bomb, every battlefield, it's all part of the design. Their suffering isn't just collateral damage. It's the goal. Their pain is my gain. Their deaths are my success. And I thrive on it. Every war, every conflict, it's all orchestrated to bleed them dry, to tear away what little they have left. And they never question it. They never see it. They line up, ready to fight, to kill, certain they're part of some grand heroic struggle. But the only struggle is mine, the struggle for control. The wars, the conflicts, they're not for them. They are for me. For us. I'm just the face they see, the mask that hides the true power behind everything. The real power, the true architects of this nightmare. They sit above it all, invisible, untouchable. They pull the strings, and I dance to their tune without hesitation. They are the architects of this world, and I'm just a cog in their machine. A well-placed cog, yes, but a cog nonetheless. But I enjoy it. I revel in it. They whisper their orders, and I carry them out without question. They tell me to starve the people, to crush their spirits, to make them beg for mercy, and I do. They tell me to push the limits, to test how far we can go. Gene manipulation, psychological warfare, ripping the very humanity out of these people. And I obey. We experiment on them, break them down, tear them apart until there's nothing left but hollow, compliant shells of who they once were. It's progress, we say. A cleaner world, a better world, built on the ruins of the broken. The people, they don't even see it. They're so eager, so willing to believe the lies we feed them, that they can't even recognize their own degradation. They think it's salvation. They thank us, thank me, for the destruction of their lives, for the manipulation of their bodies, their very DNA. And they beg for more. They vote. They cheer. They support the very legislation that tightens the noose around their necks. It's progress, after all. Progress toward a cleaner world. A better world. Even as we obliterate everything that once made them human, reducing them to lifeless instruments of a system they can never grasp. They fall to their knees in gratitude. They worship me for the chains I've fastened around their necks, assured that I've delivered them to redemption. The cruel irony is, they still believe in the system. Even now, when everything around them is crumbling, people cling to the illusion that they have a choice, that their voice means something. It's almost tragic, really, how desperately they grasp at that false hope. But that's where the brilliance lies. The hypocrisy, the double standards, the carefully crafted lies I feed them while wearing the mask of their savior. They don't realize I'm condemning them with every word, tightening the chains they're too blind to see. It's flawless. Every war we start, every law we pass, it's all for the greater good. Our good. And they foot the bill. They pay with their lives, their futures, while we thrive. We revel in opulence, surrounded by comfort, while they starve. While they freeze in their broken homes. While they march off to die in wars they'll never understand. They hold on to the belief that it's about glory, about righteousness. But it's never been about those things. It's always been about money. It's always been about power. And I hold both in my hands. I watch them suffer, watch them tear each other apart for scraps, and it's nothing short of entertainment. Every scream, every drop of blood, every ruined life, it's like a perfectly scripted play unfolding before my eyes. Why should I care? They're beneath me. Their lives hold no more value than the numbers I need to justify my next move. They are tools, disposable and replaceable, serving their purpose until I decide they're no longer useful. And when that time comes, I'll burn it all down. I'll watch the world fall to ashes if that's what it takes to achieve our goals. They feed me the orders, the strategies, and I execute them without hesitation. Not because I'm weak, but because I understand how the world truly works. And I love it. I love knowing that, with every decision I make, I am shaping their reality, bending them to my will. I love watching them destroy each other. They march forward, thinking they're fighting for a noble cause, unaware they're simply walking the path we've crafted for them, moving to a tune they can't even hear. We let them think they can change things, that they still have the power to alter their fate. But they don't. How could they? We hold all the cards. We control everything. Their food, their water, the very air they breathe. And they will never see it coming. The riots, the violence, the decay. It's not chaos. It's calculation. They assume crime festers in the shadows, hidden from our watchful eyes. Something uncontrollable. But nothing escapes our sight. The human traffickers, the drug lords, the blood staining the streets. It all exists because we want it to. Because I allow it to happen. Every crime, every brutal act is another gear in the machine. Grinding endlessly, fueling the system we've built. We engineer it, the suffering, the lawlessness. It's designed to serve us. Each stolen life, each broken body, feeds the engine that keeps us in power. And the people, they're not citizens. They're livestock. Sheep, born to serve, born to die. They're currency. Like oil or land, they are nothing more than a resource. Bought, sold, exploited, and cast aside the moment their worth is drained dry. They shuffle through their pathetic lives, oblivious to the strings we pull, too blind to realize they've been bred for slaughter from the start. This is the world we've built. A world where strength is the only currency, where control is the only power that matters. We are the system. And they're just resources to be exploited until there's nothing left. I revel in knowing that, at least for the moment, I am the one who moves the pieces on the board. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Even a pawn can feel like a king, if only for a fleeting moment. And right now, I feel like a god. I hold the keys to life and death. I decide who suffers, who thrives, who survives to see another day. It's my hand that writes their fate, my will that shapes their world. And I sit at the top, watching it all unfold like some grand performance, a show that never ends. Every scream, every shattered life, it's all for me. I hold the threads of their existence. Their lives are mine to twist, to bend, to break. Each one a vessel of torment, shaped and shattered for my amusement.